Good evening, Taurus. Welcome to my channel. We're doing what's troubling them. So the question is geared to find out maybe what the person that you're thinking about is actually thinking of, whether it's something pleasant, less pleasant, not at all pleasant. We'll find out. So let's just do this. I'm aiming for pop-outs tonight, definitely. Okay, change. So that's super, it's vague, and yet it's quite precise in the sense that who doesn't feel a little bit like antsy, you know, when change is needed. Anyone can feel uncomfortable to a degree, disrupted. And could also be, anyone could be pleased and looking forward with excitement towards change. So let's see why the Magician in reverse, or at least what this change pertains to for them, and what's really the Eight of Cups, and how they're really feeling about the change, right? One more card. So far, they don't want to budge. I can tell you that. They're not welcoming the change so easily. The Eight of Cups is in reverse. They're not wanting to change, really. We're going to see if that last card can come out. There. The Six of Swords. That's really funny. Look. They don't want to change, but they're going to have to change, right? It's inevitable. That's so cool. Okay, so what they're really feeling then is that particular Magician in reverse energy, right? This will be the core of what's troubling them about the change. So what I'm sensing right off the bat is that the change wasn't created by them. It doesn't come from them. So that's the first reason why they're not welcoming the changes, you know, they could or maybe should. And they feel powerless against whoever's decision or the circumstances, whatever is happening. They're really like, how do you say, like putting their heels in the in the ground, like not wanting to go anywhere. But yet, you know, eventually they will take the journey. They will go along and probably accept the change, or at least the circumstances, and just eventually go with the flow, which is what I think is really positive here. I'm feeling out the Magician in reverse. I want to see if there's anything else to say. I think there's a little bit of sadness on the Eight of Cups, right? There's something that obviously they're attached to, that they're leaving behind. It could be something that they really, really enjoyed doing, mainly because they felt such an expert at it, that they felt so comfortable doing it, that it had become easy for them. With the Magician, it feels more like something that they do or did. I'm gonna say did, because eventually they are changing, right? It'll evolve. So it could be like a job, a particular, but it feels like something they do versus, you know, necessarily you. In this case, for you, Taurus, this is not necessarily about you. It definitely involves you somehow, or at least the involvement is about the relationship you have with them and how maybe the change is affecting you both, or the relationship between you both. That's a possibility. But in this particular reading, the way the cards are coming out, the answer to the question is much more about them having to change something, and not necessarily about you, or doesn't require necessarily that you agree or not. It touches them primarily, is what I want to say. You know, they might have been a little bit overboard with the situation, and so I feel that maybe there was a tiny bit of exaggeration, or there was something that, if it's not exaggeration, it's, you know, when you're like really fed up with something as well. So there's the feeling of it's gone beyond a certain point, or do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure exactly of the nature of that exaggeration is. I don't know if it's something that they did that was exaggerated. I don't know if it was their conduct. I don't know if it was their words. I don't know if it was something or if it's something more of they just got really, really fed up of the situation, or, you know, they did become an expert. They were an expert. They are an expert in what they do. So maybe they did everything they could in that role, you know, like there was no more place to grow. And it got it got beyond boring. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. Okay, let's get the guidance and see what's recommended in this case for them, Taurus. There. There's something better. It's so fitting. It's amazing. So they really need to change. It feels like a job. It feels like a career. It feels like, I feel more something they do. I don't think it's necessarily leaving you. I don't think it's leaving like a relationship or a situation. Maybe a situation, but I don't think it's a person, and I don't think it's you. I think it's really about, and I say that really because of the Magician, okay? About that it's not necessarily relationship based. It might be, but that's what I'm seeing, okay? So take some, leave some. But there's something better, and that's what's eventually they're gonna come around to accepting the change and really going with the flow. Once they get past the initial, well, I don't want to leave the comfort zone, they're going to be fine with, you know, finding that thing that is better for them in the long run, right? I love when the reading is consistent like that. It's perfect. The message is very clear. So I hope you got something out of it. It might not be your story. It's definitely someone else's story. So catch me on the next one. Thank you so much for listening in. Do share, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you soon. Bye.